Do not go gentle into the good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning they. Do not go gentle into that good night. Paul Sapunzi.
Oh, sorry, Paul, did you say something?
I just wrote a poem.
Oh, sorry,
Very similar to Dylan Thomas.
Wow. All right. Tell all your cool friends on Instagram we're there. Look at that.
Wow. Wow. The Instagram.
Wow. Hey, welcome to our live stream, everybody.
We're the Water Street Blues Band, and this is Talking About Live, coming at you every Wednesday at 9 p.m., including this Wednesday, May 12th, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's now 9:01 Eastern Standard Time.
Thank you for that, Rob.
No problem. I just
Hi.
want to be accurate. Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hi.
I'm Rob. I'm one of your hosts and the guitar player in the Water Street Blues Band. And to my left,
I'm Sylvia. I play keys and squeeze. That's accordion.
And I'm Paul, and I play bass guitar, and I'm the rabbit keeper, and I'd like to introduce to you Fluffy. Can we get Fluffy on
Fluffy's
set?
here.
is Fluffy
Come on.
there?
Come here. Come here, baby. Come here, little
Oh,
baby.
there
I
he
won't
is. I
hurt you.
was afraid
I
he had
won't hurt you.
disappeared
Come here,
again.
give me a kiss. Mm.
Oh, come on.
Come
Fluffy.
here.
Give Paul a
Come here.
kiss.
Fluffies.
I know he's
Come
being,
here, you little
being
bastard.
coy.
Come here.
He's being coy.
Come here, you little
Aw.
bastard. Good. All right,
Okay,
go away.
okay.
We got a great show, guys. Our guest is legendary guitarist, singer, producer, engineer, guitar maker, which is a great topic too, Fred Smith. Today, we're really excited about having Fred on the show. He's amazing. And today is Steve Winwood's birthday.
Okay.
And we won't say how old Steve Winwood is, but he's up there. And he's doing great, and we're going to honor him today in our vintage vinyl collection. And we're going to be taking some entrepreneurial opportunities, which I'll talk to you guys about
What?
later.
What is that
We're going
all
to try to
about?
build some funding through
What?
this process.
Well, I hope it's good.
It's good. I'm sure he's
looking
sharing
forward
with
to
us,
that.
so that's
It
all
will
right.
benefit some of us, yes.
Oh, that's good. We also wanted to give out a shout out to nurses. This is actually International
right.
Nurses Day, and it's a National Nurses Week. Hashtag I know a nurse to say thank you on social media. And here's an artist, Lexer Elliott in Toronto, and in this mural he's expressing our gratitude to healthcare workers at this time. Has been so important. And there are lots of ways you can say thank you to nurses. You know, when we have a chance, we can register and get vaccinated. That's one way to say thank you. Another way is to wear a mask. Okay, wash your hands. Stay home if you can. And keep the frig apart, okay?
You didn't say it. You did the
together.
Uncensored version during the rehearsal.
Yeah, you did.
Oops.
Yeah.
About the mask.
That wasn't
You were quite forceful about
you were
that
going full
in your
F-bomb in the
recommendations.
rehearsal.
No, that couldn't be the case. Anyways.
Yeah, thank you very much. Really, everyone in the healthcare sector. It's incredible. I was vaccinated, I'm very proud to say, and it was incredible. We're very lucky.
We are
extremely
grateful.
lucky.
We are
We've
grateful, and we are lucky.
Yeah, we're down that vax path too. So.
Well, now it's time to give away a record. And
Already?
Last year in 2020, in August of 2020, Water Street Blues Band recorded an album called, funnily enough, Talking About. And we want to give away a digital version of that record and today's blues quiz. And today's blues quiz is pretty easy. I've made a few difficult questions in the recent past, but this one's almost
straightforward.
This one's almost a gimme. So
Is it?
Fluffy, can you put up the blackboard? Oh, there you go. So this has a direct tie-in. The answer's got a couple of direct tie-ins with our guest today, which is why we chose this question.
Okay.
Which famous guitarist is widely credited as the creator of the first solid body electric guitar?
Fred Smith.
You
said it was related to the thing.
But we have a winner right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Thank you. I won. Fred Smith.
No. Winner, chicken dinner. I'm going to let a few people guess. No, Freddie Fender. Janice, that was a pretty cool guess. B.B. King's not the correct answer. But Stuart McKee guessed Les Paul. And that is the correct answer.
Sweet.
In 1940, Les Paul took a solid piece of wood, attached a guitar neck to it, and then the wings of a hollow body guitar, and he called it the log. He also added pickups and some electronics. And that was the beginnings of the first solid body electric guitar. He then worked with a couple of companies and finally landed on Gibson guitars, and he worked with them to create the first Les Paul guitar as we know it today. Now, you ask, what is the tie-in with our guest Fred Smith? Well, Fred Smith is also a builder of guitars, and he has his own brand that he occasionally refers to as the Fredocaster. And Fred Smith is also a really well-known and very highly regarded sound and studio engineer, as was Les Paul. Les Paul, in fact, was one of the pioneers of multi-tracking, and that was how he and Mary Ford got that unique sound. And another little factoid about Les Paul is he was the godfather, this is the real godfather to Steve Miller, the Steve Miller of the Steve Miller Band, the Joker. So you can find out more about that fact if you listen to Mark Maron's WTF podcast, and he had Steve Miller on recently and told a lot of great stories about Les Paul. Sylvia and I were really lucky. We were in New York and we had a chance to see Les Paul at the Iridium Jazz Club, and he didn't do a lot of playing, but man, he told amazing stories. He was just a gentleman and an amazing innovator, as is Fred Smith, our guest.
I have one of those guitars, but it's kind of confusing to me. Mine is called a Les Paul.
I think you got the knockoff.
Well, no, I got a good deal, $150, but who says it's not real? It's a Les Paul. It's a Les Paul.
Well, okay. Well,
it's a silent S. So they just got tired. They dropped it.
Well, Paul, do you feel like playing a tune?
I totally feel like playing a tune, and I totally feel like maybe we're going to talk about Steve Winwood later, but this guy, Steve Winwood, was in 100 bands. Doesn't even know what bands he was in himself. And this guy was in a whole bunch of those bands, and none of them remember what bands they were in. So this is a Freddie King tune. And interesting about this tune is that the backing track that I'm using was recorded by us in 1997 with our friend Jason Barry. And so I pulled out those tracks. I used the backing tracks, and I'm going to do some vocals and bass over that. And we're going to do a tune called "Tore Down."
Right.
Let's.
What happened? Fluffy. All right.
Tore down. I'm almost level with the ground. I'm tore down. I'm almost level with the ground. Well, I feel like this and my baby can't be found. Went to the river to jump in. Well, my baby showed up. She said, I will tell you when. Tore down. I'm almost level with the ground. Well, I feel like this and my baby can't be found. Love you, babe, with all my might. A love like mine is out of sight. A life for you if you want me to. Baby, I don't believe that your love is true. Well, I'm torn down. I'm almost level with the ground. Well, I feel like this and my baby can't be found. Find my baby, Rob.
Hey.
Rob Damon, 30 years ago. His delicate little hands.
30 years ago. It's vintage.
Love you, babe, with all my might. A love like mine is out of sight. A life for you if you want me to. Baby, I don't believe that your love is true. Well, I'm tore down. I'm almost level with the ground. Well, I feel like this and my baby can't be found. I'm tore down. I'm almost level with the ground. Tore down. I'm almost level with the ground. Well, I feel like this and my baby can't be found.
All right, good job, Paul.
Thanks. That was like a time machine.
That's
like a time machine
like the time
performance.
Well,
I was playing with you and Sylvia when you were the age of my son.
Yeah.
there's a number of people who are providing us comments, and a lot of people are saying happy birthday to Hugh, but it is actually not Hugh's birthday. And Marissa Mance, hey Marissa, thanks for tuning in, you and Sean. Big shout out to Lana's Lounge. And she asked a question if we know who Les Paul's nephew is. So I don't know who Les Paul's nephew is. So if anybody out there in internet land has an idea to that one, let us know. We have a viewer from Bermuda, which is pretty awesome. So
Hello.
Jasmine, thank you for tuning in. That's Bermuda, Manitoba.
Jasmine, I know Bermuda well, and I miss it. I did some time there, not in the jail, but it's a great town. Hamilton, the Lobster Pot, can think of a whole bunch of places. Anyway, great town. Lots of great live music there too. Thank you for joining us tonight.
And Fred has the best guesses, and no, the famous guitarist was not Guitar Gary. It was Les Paul.
It was.
And so, Sylvia, what song are we going to do?
Yeah, we were going to do a song. We have Bobby Gentry, I think, is what we're going to try. Try to wrap our heads around that. This is actually, this story is so long that they made it into an after-school special movie. So.
It's in chapters.
I remember that.
This is just part one, folks.
Okay, we're going to give that a try.
But Mel Brown did this tune too.
Yeah, he did. That's right. Now the pressure's on. It was the 3rd of June, another sleepy, dusty Delta day. I was out chopping cotton and my brother was a baling hay. At dinner time we stopped and walked back to the house to eat. Mama hollered out the back door, y'all remember to wipe your feet. And she said, I got some news this morning up from Choctaw Ridge. Today Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. And Papa said to Mama as he passed around the black-eyed peas, well, Billy Joe never had a lick of sense. Pass the biscuits, please. You know there's 5 more acres in the lower 40 I've got to plow. And Mama said it was a shame about Billy Joe anyhow. Seems like nothing ever comes to no good up on Choctaw Ridge. And now Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. And brother said he recollected when he and Tom and Billy Joe put a frog down my back at the Carroll County Picture Show. I'll have another piece of apple pie. No, it just don't seem right. And wasn't I talking to him after church last Sunday night? You know I saw him at the sawmill yesterday at Choctaw Ridge. And now you tell me Billy Joe's jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. And Mama said to me, child, what's happened to your appetite? I've been cooking all morning and you haven't touched a single bite. That nice young preacher, Brother Taylor, dropped by today. Said he'd be pleased to come to dinner on Sunday. By the way, he said he saw a girl that looked a lot like you on Choctaw Ridge. And she and Billy Joe were throwing something off the Tallahatchie Bridge. news about Billy Joe. And brother married Becky Thompson. They bought a store in Tupelo. There was a virus going round and Papa got it and he died last spring. And now Mama doesn't seem to want to do much of anything. And me, I spent a lot of time picking flowers on Choctaw Ridge. I dropped them into the muddy water off the Tallahatchie Bridge. And drop them into the muddy water off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
Little Bobby Gentry.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I think it's time. Oh, what's happening? Paul, your teeth are white enough.
Oh my goodness. What the heck?
Oh, that's horrible. That's
I
disgusting.
took the opportunity to
was
brush my
long
teeth and
enough.
get ready for bed. It was like 17 minutes long. It's the longest song ever written, but it was a beautiful version, guys, and I got the point.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, good.
That's good. Well, I think it's time to climb into your vintage vinyl collection now, Paul, and it's Steve Winwood's birthday.
Today's a really really favorite topic of mine, Steve Winwood, and big influence that I never really took advantage of, but incredible guy. And
Okay.
Steve Winwood has been in a lot of bands, man. Everybody knows Steve Winwood, I think.
But Paul,
most of our audience do.
I just want to know what all the dollar signs in front of your name and Fluffy's name at the bottom is all about.
Let's get back to that in a minute.
Okay.
No, seriously, it says live online auction, and we were. I
thought
personally,
this was
anyway, I
about
didn't know
Steve
anything about
Winwood.
it.
Guys, listen, I've been waiting for the cash to flow. There's nothing happening.
It's just
I have to take advantage of this space. This is a space we occupy in the media. Do you understand what media is?
But you need to talk to us about it. If you're going to be doing an auction,
okay, guys.
we should know about it in advance. We thought it
we
was going to
did.
be
We
this
did. It's
honoring
okay.
Steve Winwood.
Talk about
Listen, there's
We'll talk
enough
about
money
this
for
later.
everybody in this
Okay,
whole scheme.
all right.
I think there's enough money in everything.
All right, let's
so
get
let's
going, guys.
let's
Okay,
go on.
well, let's just keep it going.
Let's go on and let's honor Steve Winwood and all the bands he's been with. This is the Spencer Davis Group. Give me some lovin'. 1963, Spencer Davis. These guys are from Birmingham. Actually, it's interesting is Steve Winwood and his brother, Muff Winwood. I don't know how the name came about, but they were both in the band, and I think Pete York was drums. But, you know, when Steve Winwood joined that band, he was a skinny little kid. He opened his mouth, and he sang, give me some shelter. That thing was...
I
It
love
was
it.
it was like a
Give me some lovin'.
loudspeaker. It was
I think
incredible.
you're thinking chairs.
Yeah,
What-
give
I'm
me some
just-
lovin'. And Keep on Running and I'm a Man, all those great,
and what
great
does the
songs.
chair
What
have
is
to
the,
do
yeah,
with
what is
anything?
this chair all about? What's that got to do with Steve Winwood?
Okay. So this is where I'm just going to take a couple of seconds here. I have a chair for sale.
What?
I do, and it's what I call a conversion chair. Started single purpose.
Uh-huh.
Now it's got three purposes:
Okay.
sitting,
Yeah.
urinizing, fecalizing. It's a
Okay,
medical term.
All righty.
Okay.
$8. Let's get some. Let's get some bids.
If you
I'll
want
have
to,
it
if you want
shipped
to
to your
bid on the
house.
chair, just
Please.
let us know in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is Powerhouse. Weird little band put together by Eric Clapton. Steve Winwood was in it. Paul Jones, Jack Bruce from Cream, Pete York. I think even Ben Palmer was there. They only did 3 songs. They ran out of weed and said, let's go home.
And
That's it.
what's the shovel for?
The shovel is a master-built shovel. It's been in my family for a long time. $15, starting bid. Okay?
Starting bid. Okay. And also let
Leave
us
your
know in the
personal
comments
phone
if
number, your bid, and your personal phone number
Yeah.
in the section. Okay. Next.
Is it signed by Steve Winwood? At
No,
least
this is random. So random.
this is random.
I can probably have it signed by him. Let's talk about the band first. Traffic. This is my my big thing. I really think Traffic's a cool band, and it was a weird band because there were a lot of players. I can't even name them all, but some of the key guys were Steve Winwood, Jim Capaldi, Chris Wood, Dave Mason. And then there's a chart. Actually, it's like a mathematical chart which shows different months and different years, and there have been I think 40 different players in that band, and you can trace it all out scientifically. It's quite interesting. And also, we have a Pontiac Firefly 1993 catalytic converter for sale. Cut out. This is not a real picture of it. I just got this from a magazine. $85.
This scheme.
You retail 89.
But you know what? I think there might be takers for that crushed velvet dark green.
I bet you they have
shirt,
some
maybe.
Pontiac Fireflies in Bermuda. Hey, let me know.
Okay,
All right,
and
all
then
right.
this is a really great record.
$85 Canadian, $3 Bermudian. Okay. Rob, tell us about this group.
Cream had just broken up, and Traffic was on a bit of a hiatus. And so Clapton and Ginger Baker decided to ask Steve Winwood to form a band. So they did, and they got Rick Gretsch from the band Family. They did a famous epic concert that's on YouTube in Hyde Park. They toured the States. They did one fabulous record, and then
brand new insoles.
And then they blew up.
Those shoes are not.
Poof. Actually, Ginger Baker has no idea where he is here. He doesn't know what band he's in. Doesn't know what year it is. Look at him.
But he's a great drummer. Amazing drummer.
Yeah, he wants to find Jack Bruce.
And
tell me where Jack Bruce is.
And fight with him because they despised one another.
Listen, guys, this is an unusual find. These are men's size 5. Full-grown men's size 5. New insoles, sporty.
And by the way, where's all this money going to that you're raising, Paul?
What?
We've never
this is going to a
that.
fund to deal with rights, rabbit rights.
I don't think we're going to have to. Oh, there's Fluffy. No, Fluffy didn't know anything about it either.
We're doing the math on this one. Let's go on.
What's the next one?
Ginger Baker's Air Force. Amazing. I didn't do any sales here because you got to see the front and the back of this record. It's just an amazing piece of art, and it represents Ginger Baker, the way he works.
And the band was a big rock jazz band. They were incredible, and this is a fabulous live record. If you can get your hands on it, it's kind of hard to find on CD, but it's a really cool record.
Okay.
Amazing.
No samples today. Maybe we'll play
no
samples next week. Okay.
No samples.
No, is there any more?
Okay.
Oh, you do.
What
have
else
more.
we got? We got the 80s.
Yeah.
We got the 80s, and he tried it.
Well, you know what? That's kind of.
He
like
did a great job, though.
Yeah,
He was amazing. He was amazing. But there was some image issues that were dealt with very well. He's even had said it on thing. I said, the music is great, and it was great, but there was a problem with mixing matching ties.
and nail clippers?
Yeah, what is that?
These are previously enjoyed nail clippers. You know, those who know me on stage, these are very important to me. These are not as sharp as they used to be. And I've developed some pretty big paws over the years. So if there's any people out there that would like these $250 starting bid, I'm not going to consider a penny less because they have pastiche.
They've got some of your DNA involved in those things, I think.
Tell me, is this the end of the vintage vinyl? Do we know?
I think
I see eBay.
There's one more, I think.
I think there's one more, guys. Yeah, this is. I just wanted to bring this up. This is a favorite of mine. About time solo record, Steve Winwood, great lineup, and so get this. And there's a great track on it. Quite a few. It's all terrific, and some great musicians. And I saw him live do this, and it was just a highlight of my life. Okay, and starting bids on this beauty is $5. And you're going to say, why is it so low? Okay, it's missing the power cord.
Well, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a powerless electric toaster, you've come to the right place.
It's truly entry level. It's absolute rock bottom.
I think it's, now that we've said happy birthday to Steve Winwood, I think it's time to turn the page and bring our guest on.
All right, it's that time.
Thank
you, Paul, because I'm sure there was a lot of financial gain through that.
We're so pleased and we're so honored that Fred Smith could join us and be our guest tonight. For those who don't know Fred, I don't know. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't know Fred, because Fred has got a world-renowned studio. It does movies.
My mom says hi, Fred.
It does movies. It does vocal work. He's been doing corporate work. He builds his own guitars. He is active in musical theater. He's got amazing stories. He's beautiful voice, fabulous guitar player. And I think we've got a little bit of video that we're going to play before we bring Fred on.
Right.
Fluffy, see if you can grab Fred from the
Okay,
green room.
Fluffy back
And in the
helping us.
meantime, we'll roll a bit of video.
Fetch Fred.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, Fred,
welcome to the show.
It's so great to have you.
Well, it's nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for joining us. No.
You guys look terrific.
It's makeup. It's like plastic surgery. It's been major work.
No.
Also, we can shrink the screen like in this direction so it gets a little bit narrower and taller. Fred, welcome to the show. You are publicly and in the music community, you represent to me and to many people the gold standard of musicianship and versatility, and you have touched every aspect of the business. So tell us about the video and tell us where that was, and tell us about the tune, please.
Well, that was just really sampling a guitar that I just finished building. That I'd been sort of posting the progress of that build on Facebook to my friends, and I thought, it's time. You have to play this thing so people can hear what this is all about. And I'm actually hoping to have that picked up tomorrow. Actually, a fella in Montreal bought that guitar, and I'm going to be very sorry to see it go. Actually,
But you have that video to remember.
So that's a handmade guitar by you, and that's a Fretocaster.
well,
Can you carry the Fretocaster?
no,
Logo?
I have to say I have to be careful with that. I do put Fretocaster on the guitars that don't sell. Like
In jest. Oh my
Okay.
God,
Oh,
it's
that's
true.
Look at
amazing.
that. That's for real.
Incredible.
but because I'm not selling the Fretocaster because of it's actually Fender's font and so
Yeah.
on. So I'm careful
Yeah.
with that. So I do have another logo that I put on guitars that I sell.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful piece of wood. What's it made out of?
Well, the
green
one
one.
that the green one is swamp ash, and then it's a very tight quarter sawn grain hard maple neck and a flame maple fingerboard.
Great. So do you use A&M Woods in Cambridge, or who do you buy stuff from for your product?
Actually, I do, and however, that body is a product of a few logs that were in Bright Up Bush, actually.
Oh, wow.
Very special. Why Bright Up?
That's
Well,
right.
because they dropped all these ash trees,
That's our hood.
Yeah.
and so we took advantage. I run through there all the time, and I spied. Hey, there's a good log for me. I'm gonna before the worms get it. I'm gonna grab that.
Yeah.
Good score.
Also, Fred, we had the pleasure of doing some sound checking with you and preparing for the show today. And you're in a beautiful space. You sound terrific. You've got a whole other life. It's another part of your life apart from performing, which is producing and engineering. So tell us a little bit about your digs, or what do they call it? Your crib. Tell us about
My crib?
the mahogany, your beautiful, finely crafted mahogany crib.
Well, We built this. This is a third studio that I've built. The first one I built back in 1990, I guess. I had been in business already about 5 years at that time. And then 10 years ago, we bought a place and then we expanded. So we have a nice 2,000 square foot building in our backyard here with lots of live rooms and, 12-foot ceilings, and all the rooms are isolated and acoustically tuned. So when you do mix in here, you can trust the room. You don't have to keep going back to your ghetto blaster in your car and your grandma's old Corvette and listen to it in the stereos there. The sounds are always really balanced. So I do a lot of corporate work. I always have singer-songwriters and bands throughout. It's always fun, the solo work. Just this week, I was working on a movie, a psychological thriller with Stephen McCaddy. He was in here doing his dialogue replacement for a movie called Fixation, which will be out soon. And I did a national radio commercial this week that goes out to the 3 prairie provinces very shortly.
Well,
so that's we're very blessed during these hard times, because I do.
Yeah, you're not slowing down at all. You're versatile, so you don't have to slow down. You keep going.
Yeah, sadly, my eldest son Max sits in the studio if I'm on tour, and because of COVID, of course, there's been at least 200 shows canceled this year. I mean, I'm supposed to be going away in 2 weeks to play 16 shows, but from the news, I don't think that's going to happen. But Max will come in and cover if there's work going on in the studio, and I take a rig with me when I'm touring, and Max can do the tracking. It's getting to the point where if some actors, for instance, if we've had Christopher Plummer and Brian Dennehy, Colin Fiore's been in here for, 7 years, and now the point is if Colin says, "Hey, Freddie, can I get in there to do this?" I said, "Well, I'm on tour." He says, "That's okay. Is Max here?" He's quite happy with Max taking over. So,
it's like his second home. It's like his second home.
Yeah. So Max isn't too thrilled that I'm not on the road because I'm doing all the work in here now. So Max isn't getting much in here.
Oh, he's got to get his chops back up again.
Yeah, he will.
So if people go to your studio and they can see some of the movies, you've worked on a ton of movies.
Yeah. Some interesting, some little bits and pieces, I have to admit, it's been pretty exciting. There's been some fun ones. There's been a lot of pressure at times. I can see why not everybody wants to do ADR. You might have 3 or 4 directors online at a time. And good actors, much like yourselves, good musicians, you often are still nervous before gigs because you care. And these actors walk in here and they're a little anxious. So, our job is to really make the room comfortable. So when they come in here, they can get to work and actually be productive and not kind of freaking out because they see, I got to do 40 pickup lines from for whatever reason.
Right.
And so you're going to have directors online. Some of them come in. Some people will fly in. But lately, of course, everybody's online. And it's pretty important that everybody hears what they want to hear. They like to socialize a little bit. They haven't seen each other since they were on set, sometimes 6 months ago or however long when they were doing the location. And trying to get that room comfortable. People are chit-chatting and having coffee and having fun. And then ultimately, when the session's over, I'm the one that's hung to dry if everything isn't perfect.
Of course.
So sometimes it gets a little tedious when you're trying to keep everybody happy, but, we've got to make sure there's silence in the room. So because when they're in post and they get the files, and if there's some overmodulation or some technical issues that they can't use the takes that we're delivering, back in the early days, we learned those lessons.
Right.
So, yeah.
What are some of those big movies, Fred?
Oh, well, I do take pride in the fact that I got to work with Christopher Plummer here on the first movie he got his first Academy Award on. And I have to admit, doing Beginners was just a great experience.
Wow. That's
and it was
amazing.
fun. And he was in here for a week doing another project. But, you could go to my website and you could see the movies I've worked on.
Yeah,
I couldn't even begin to go down the list at this point.
right
No, I
now.
want you to tell us every single project that you've had from day one, starting now.
Well,
Okay.
actually, Fred, if I think people are saying they would love to hear you sing a song.
They would,
There
eh?
you
Yeah.
go.
They're
Okay.
demanding it.
They're demanding
Our
it.
studio
Well,
audience.
I'm going to sing a song that I wrote, and I put it on a record in 2014. And I wrote this song for my wife, who I just love her dearly.
Aw.
And I don't sing this song very often, so bear with me. It's called "I Want to Thank You for Stopping By." I want to thank you for stopping by, for the perfumed air you left behind. No matter what tomorrow brings, I'm gonna try not to think of things like diamond rings or that list of songs we love to sing. I want to thank you for stopping by. When you first walked through my door, I watch your candy-painted toenails travel across my floor. The life pumping through my veins caught fire, fire, fire. But I'd stop, drop, and roll. Lay there smoking with my love on hold. I want to thank you for stopping by. Let me say just one thing before I let you go. Loving you ain't easy, that much I know. And like over, under, and through, love's string of hope ties me to you. Let me say just one thing before I let you go. That loving you'd be easy, that much I know. And like over, under, and through, love's string of hope ties me to you. And now every night it seems you're the leading lady in my dreams. Classic reruns fill my head, let the film unwind. Then those house lights come on, the movie's over and the curtain's drawn. I want to thank you for stopping by. I want to thank you for stopping by. Oh, thank you very much.
Well, the interweb is blowing up, Fred. There's hearts all over the place. There's applause all over the place. Lanny indicates that she's a puddle. There's lots and lots of wonderful comments. That's a beautiful, beautiful,
big
beautiful
grown
song.
men crying,
It's a gorgeous song.
bawling
so
that they
Fred-
can't write music.
Fred, when we chatted doing our tech check, we were talking about how you got started, and you had two very musical uncles, but also a really cool grade 6 teacher, and it was a wonderful story. Do you want to just sort of share that story about how he influenced you and maybe got you started performing?
Well, absolutely. First of all, I was probably about 6 or 7 when my first Uncle Eddie showed me how to play God Save the Queen on the guitar. And I thought that was really cool. He just certainly made a dent in me. A couple of years went by, and I had been playing my old beater of a guitar, and I'd learning all these, Neil Young songs and this kind of stuff. And um, in grade 6, in music's class, they were teaching ukulele. So I had asked my teacher, Mr. Ray McMaster, who I love him dearly. I asked him, could I play my guitar instead of ukulele? Like, what am I doing ukulele for? I'd like to play guitar. He said, sure, but you have to sing in front of the class if you're going to do that. Well, that took some nerve. And man, it just changed my life. It's amazing how a teacher, someone who believes in what you do, sees that you have something special to offer. They can make or break you. And I have taken that so seriously as a teacher. I've been teaching since I was 16. I still teach. And you play a huge role in these students' lives. That you believe in doing something. You believe in what they have, and a music teacher can be such a big part of their lives. And so anyway, that's a great story. And then my other uncle Grant. I was playing my guitar in my bedroom one afternoon, and they were over for a visit, and he heard, and well, he came into my room and he grabbed the guitar and he started playing stuff that I just didn't think was humanly possible. And he was a hell of a guitar player. And turned out he owned a Fender Jazzmaster from the 60s and a twin reverb, and he would spend entire weekends. My aunt and uncle my parents would drop me off in Rexdale in Toronto, and I would spend the whole weekend on that couch down the bass with my uncle playing guitar all weekend. And my Aunt Margot would be upstairs lifting a needle off the vinyl, writing all these words down, CCR tunes and all this kind of stuff. And it was a huge part of my life, just a great part of my life.
And then you had a big break. You had a guest shot on Romper Room for a while.
Did I? I think I was on Romper Room for probably a good 4 years. I did lots and lots of shows. I was kind of Freddie Smith, their musical guy,
That's
and
awesome. Just awesome.
I had a great time with that. Sometimes on location, you'd be going down the boardwalk at, down in on the lakeshore. Key West? Queens Quay down in Toronto. Yeah. And you'd have a big swarm of kids around you, and you'd be walking down the boardwalk with the boats in the background, singing these kids' songs, and it's just so much fun. And there was one time with Miss Fran, who was the teacher at the time. She would say, well, if you're going to come in and do some Freddie Smith songs and teach some things, it's, do stick around and play a game with us. So that became a regular thing.
Oh, great.
So here I am. We're all in a big circle on the floor. And we're playing Duck, Duck, Goose, Goose. Okay, I'm up for anything. I had, hair down to the middle of my back at the time. And the kids would always go around in the circle and they would tap Miss Fran on the head. Okay, and then Miss Fran would get up and run around the circle after the kid. Well, sooner or later I knew this was going to happen, but Miss Fran had to go around and she tapped me on the head. So here I am, a grown adult, in body, running after Miss Fran on national television around the circle. That is a great memory.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, somewhere that's on some video somewhere.
I would love to be able to get a copy of that. And then Lulu's came to town, the 2 largest bars in the world, and you joined a band called the Cats Band and backed up every amazing classic player and singer that's known to man. Yeah,
it was a great gig. As a matter of fact, you're talking about Stevie Winwood. I remember coming home one afternoon, and the old tape your telephone answering machine, which had the cassette tape in it.
Yeah.
And I hit that thing, and I hear this. Hello, Fred. Spencer Davis here. I got your number from Leo. He says, ask you if you can get me a guitar for the weekend. I'm having trouble getting a guitar up over the border. That's a terrible English accent, by the way. But
South
it was
Birmingham.
Spencer Davis. It was the coolest thing, and he was the loveliest guy. We had a great weekend. But yeah, it was an honor playing with those. I was there for about 2.5 years, and it was a great gig. And
you had epic hair. Speaking of hair, Sylvie,
do we have that?
Fluffy? Do we have a
Fluffy?
Fluffy, do we have
check this out? Check it.
Do we have Fred's hair? Oh. There it is.
Oh,
that's a shot from Fred at that. Was that on the Lulu stage?
Yes, it certainly was.
I don't know how you fit on with the other musicians. That hair would have taken up the whole stage.
You know what? A lot of the guys had pretty big hair. You know, Jimmy Boudreau was playing drums, and Chris Dahmer. Who else was in there? We had Ray Podhornick. I mean, even Ray's hair was pretty big. Dave Rodenberg, Charlie Huntley, Catalin Kiss, and John McKinney.
Go back to that picture. Go back to that picture for a second. You know, I was at that show, and I can see myself in your jacket.
Now, you told me a great story about backing up the Fifth Dimension, and I just would, I'd love if you'd share that. It was such a great story.
Yeah, so the band would come together near the end of the week. So I think when they were there, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Fifth Dimension comes in Thursday afternoon, and they lay down the charts for the band, and everybody's eyes are just bugging out. It's like, you know, it's like reading fly crap on the wall. That this is just black, and we're all fine players, fine readers, but this is, oh my God, we should have got this book a week ago, you know? Right. And so we get through, and the MD, lovely guy, sat at his keyboard, and he looked at us over his half glass.
Sorry, Fred. Fred, for those out there, MD is a musical director, not a doctor. Yeah. And he's looking over his half glasses at the whole time. He knows every note you're playing and every note that you're not playing. You know, he knows this chart. And, you know, it's in the afternoon, and we got to be on doing their first show at 9:00 at night. And Fifth Dimension is a big draw. I mean, this place has 2,500 people coming in to watch these shows. And we're really there to support these guys, right? Anyway, we do a relatively good job, and he's just grimacing and doesn't have much to say, and we're all taking our books home that weekend. Normally, now we don't, you know the show enough, you develop it over the weekend. Everybody's taking it home to woodshed the book. And anyway, we do the whole weekend, and we're all sweating. There's not a minute to relax doing this show. And we have to do 2 of our own shows every night as well. So last show on the Saturday night, he comes up to our dressing room with a big case of beer, and he says, I just want to tell you, you guys are the best band I've ever played with. That's an amazing story. And
yeah, it's kind of one of those things where he just wanted you to be working as hard as you possibly can, you know, and the payoff was that, you know, It was worth the stress.
So, if anybody out there in internet land was lucky enough to be at Lulu's and catch the Cats, catch the Cats band play, they were absolutely incredible, and all the players are still active and still playing, and individually are incredible. Fred, love if you'd play another song for us.
Sure. I'll pick it up a little bit. I might do a little segue. In the middle of this.
Cool.
I got a girl and Ruby is her name. She don't love me, but I love her just the same. Hey, baby, how I want you. Like a ghost, I'm gonna haunt you. Ruby, baby, when will you be mine? Each time I see you, my heart begins to cry. I'm gonna steal you away from all those guys. Hey, From the sunny day I met you, better made you than I wouldn't get you. Ruby baby, when will you be mine? I have to tell you, this week has been a bit hard on a lot of us. We lost a great colleague in our community, Mr. Andy Klein, who I loved him dearly, and we were good friends ever since we were teenagers. And a little story about Andy is when we were preparing for playing at the COE, which was the Canadian Ontario exhibition, Central Ontario exhibition. We had a Dixieland band, and we'd travel all over the place playing Dixie tunes. And I remember rehearsing in my parents' garage, and Andy Klein owned this Galaxy 500, which is a giant ship of a car. And he would come to rehearsal, and he'd become barreling down my street, driving his car with his knees, with his clarinet out the side window, playing all his Dixie riffs. When do you hear that, eh? Anyway, this is for Andy. Just a chorus. We used to play this all the time. The days of wine and roses, laugh and run away. Like a child at play, through the meadowland towards the closing door. A door marked nevermore that wasn't there before. The lonely night discloses just a passing breeze, filled with memories of the golden smile that introduced me to the days of wine and roses, the days of wine and roses, the days of wine and roses with you. I hope you're ripping it up there, Andy. And just before I let you go, I'm going to riff a little bit here for Harry, because he wouldn't let me go without this.
All right.
That was a little bit of fun for you.
Wow.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you for that, and thank you for that beautiful, beautiful tribute to Andy Klein, a giant in our community, our musical community.
Yeah, he was a great guy, A lot of fun.
A lot of
fun.
Well, are you pointing at me for a reason?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's time to ask a question, Sylvia. Let's not get off script.
I was going to mention.
Stay on script.
Was it about hair? Was it this? No.
No, we did that part already.
All that's on my back now.
Okay.
Yeah, I know how that works.
I was just going to ask you about the CD, and I know that first song that you played is from the CD, and people might want to have a chance to listen to it or download it. I wonder if you could tell us what the name of that CD is and how people might be able to get it.
Well, the CD is called maybe Someday Soon, maybe Someday Soon, and I'm on iTunes and CD Baby.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can get me there.
There you go. There it is. Maybe Someday Soon. Is that the right one?
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the right Fred Smith. There are many Fred Smiths out there.
Oh, good. We discovered that, but yeah, okay. So you can wherever music can be streamed, or where you can CD Baby, where you can order it. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. Or you can come to me directly, and I have CDs here. If you want one, I'll sell one to you directly.
Very local. So, and you can get in touch as well through your website. Find out more about all those
Fred Smith Studio, not with no S. FredSmithStudio.com. So check out Fred's the services. Check out his the great movies he's participated in, and you can contact him through that website.
Right, and we haven't talked that much about the musical theater sensation that you have in all these years. So many different projects. I mean, what's on the horizon there, or something?
Well,
else?
in about 2013, I got the hankering of just changing it up a little bit, So I called my friend Steve Roth from Drayton, who I've known for years and years, and I said, "Can you get me an audition?" He says, "Yeah, Freddie, come on down. We'll book a boardroom. I'll get Alex to come out and just bring some stuff." And so I brought my tenor banjo, my 5-string banjo, songs to sing, my guitars, and I went in there and I said, "What do you want me to do?" And they just asked me a bunch of stuff, and then they hired me for a show called Sorry I'm Canadian, where I guess I was busy for at least 9 weeks that summer doing these shows, and I just had a great time. It was just so long overdue to be out and playing with these guys, just such great players and creative people. And then I did a bunch of shows with them, like Twist and Shout and Footloose and Closer Walk with Patsy Cline, and really enjoyed it. And then auditioned for Lisa Way and her company. And Lisa has Way to Go Productions, and now she has 11 shows that I know for her that she probably gets us close to 250 shows a year by the time it's said and done on a good year.
Amazing.
And we're coast to coast, right? Yeah. So we'll do a maritime tour. We do a Western tour. Most of the time, it's 8 shows a week. I am destined to go to the Globus Theater in Bob Cajun on the 20th of May or 22nd of May and do 16 shows. But I'm just waiting for the hammer to fall once again.
It's that uncertainty.
Wow.
It's that uncertainty.
Yeah. And we're doing a show that was premiered a year ago, just about a month before the shutdown. We got 3 weeks in, and it's called Early Morning Rain, and it's all the music of Gordon Lightfoot. And we don't try to be Gordon Lightfoot. We celebrate the music of these people.
Right.
And there's a great lineup of guys, great singers, great players. And, that was the show that's what we're supposed to be doing in Bob Cajun.
Amazing.
So anyway, I'm really happy to be with her company. She's a go-getter. We're working all the time, and wife Sandra tours with us anytime we're not really flying out. So we can still be going to Quebec, and we'll be driving to Quebec and stuff. But Sandra, the kids are all older now, and we have 5 in our litter, and they're all on their own now, kind of. And so we can tour, and Sandra's with me, and we just have a great time. She's part of the family, and
That's
good.
Wonderful. That's absolutely
Fred,
wonderful.
thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for sharing your talent and your experience and your memories. And I just look forward to enjoying your work on many future projects to come. So thank you for joining the show, and you've been wonderful.
My pleasure. Thanks very much.
But now it's time to go, and it's over. And
okay,
We have to get to the nasty bits of the show. Fred, have a seat, please. You had a really tough team of lawyers, but we finally came to an agreement. The facts just came in. It's literally semi-hot. It's glossy. We use the old glossy paper. Rob, tell us a little bit about this rider.
Well, Fred, you are such a master guitar builder. You actually set us a task as part of your rider. You said, you've got a week.
Tall order.
Yeah, you've got a week. You've got to build me some guitars.
Crazy.
You've got to develop the skills. You've got to source the materials, and you have to build me some guitars. And I want them in my dressing room after the show. So we started
Today's show.
Yeah, today's
Gosh,
show.
Mooney, very expensive.
Today's show. We tried to do that, but I don't have any skills. Paul couldn't source anything. And
you have nothing. You have nothing.
And Sylvie only knows pianos and accordions. So we actually delegated the task to Fluffy and said, Fluffy, here's what Fred has demanded and his lawyers have demanded. So Fluffy was able to scrounge. He went to all the music stores and he went into the dumpsters behind the music stores and he scrounged broken bits. And he did a pretty good job for a rabbit.
He created a true guitar extravaganza rider event.
So we'll just show you some of his works, and you can tell us which one you think you'd like to pick.
Fluffy.
There's
my
Fluffy.
gosh.
Okay,
yeah,
sounds
he's
good.
pretty proud of his work. All right.
Okay, so the
good.
first one, Fluffy decided.
Fred, if it's okay with you, Rob and I are going to talk guitar, okay? I know you know a little bit about guitars, but we're going to describe some of the work that's been done.
Oh, that's a...
So this one, you can never have enough pickups, especially going in all directions.
Oh, excuse me, Rob, and we want audience participation. So Y for yes, please, X for no thanks.
And what does the X? What does it say beside the X?
You know what? We have this space again in the media. I just want to put something out there. If people believe it, let's hear about it. Let's hear about it. Okay, so let's talk about this one, Fred. It hums like a bugger.
I bet.
Hums a lot.
60 cycle hum.
And it's got the drone strings above, and Fluffy decided that it needed spring reverb, so he just nailed an actual spring to the lower bout.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so anyway, he
It can also be used for retracting anchors.
I thought it was a mousetrap.
Well, you have to trust Fluffy's ears.
Yeah,
They're good. They're
There
big.
you go.
they're very large. He's got large ears. What's the second one?
Put it up.
Well,
Number two.
This was an SG. It suffered the typical Gibson fractured headstock, but Fluffy really came to the rescue. He decided, okay, I can save this guitar. I'm just going to nail a headstock to the ass end of the guitar, and I can still use the tuners. I thought he was
Fred, think about it. Think about it, Fred. The advantage is the turning radius is tiny. You can do pirouettes, spins on stage.
Yeah.
Folks, Y for yes, please. X for no thanks.
I'd go for it.
Okay.
Okay.
I think if you're in a pinch, you broke the headstock, it's the only guitar you had, and you were on the road, that would work. That would actually work.
Okay.
That would probably work.
It's on the list, number 2.
Now this one is an acoustic guitar, and unfortunately the bridge had lifted a little bit, and Fluffy had 75 pounds of industrial glue, and decided
Not snot.
No, he decided he would use all of it.
He didn't have a cold.
Plus,
We did it. We did a drawing first.
plus 3 screws.
Wow.
We did a drawing first. You know what? The advantage with harmonics here, because it deadens them a little bit. Rob, let's talk guitar. And the versatility, the adjustability, it's pure delight.
I like it.
You just can't let it get too close to an open flame.
Y or X?
I don't think you can get a sliver off that either.
No, not a chance. Is there a fourth,
X.
or is that it?
I don't know.
Oh, there is a fourth. Yes, this is a guitar that it suffered a neck. Actually, the neck fell off, and Fluffy decided he would use some very serious tension on it to keep it true. You don't need a truss rod with this thing. Just tighten the.
I think Fluffy
Just tighten the bolts.
This is Fluffy is like God. No thanks.
The truss rod has been overused in so many ways. This gives you, again, flexibility. It gives you versatility, and you can use it as a winch.
Yeah, I'm kind of speechless on this one.
Y for yes, please. X for no thanks.
All right. Those are some four choices there.
Which one would you select, Fred?
Want to do a recap?
Yeah, here we go.
I would definitely think number 2 is a winner.
Okay. No, you're being very kind. This is also Y for yes, please, number 2. Okay. You guys can write that up.
We're getting a lot of A's and B's, so I'm not sure if people are understanding the rules with this.
So you picked. Okay, so you picked number 2. So go to number 1. What are number 1? So that means nobody. You didn't pick number 1, which is X, which says no thanks. Rob is a liar. So you agree? Okay, go to number 3 now. Go to number 3. Hurry up, Fluffy. We're now running out of time. So that was an X as well. No thanks. Rob smells. Go to number 4. Let's finish this whole thing, okay? X, again, you did not choose this. So intrinsically, you chose X, which Fluffy is like God.
Okay, you and Fluffy have conspired on this one for sure.
Okay, well, I think we've wrapped up our rider now. So, Fred, thank you for being on the show.
Sorry, man.
We really appreciate it. And
Thanks for having me.
We've got a little bit of video from one of your performances with the Way to Go show. It's your wailing on the stage of Grand Bend on the beach, and I think you're doing a little bit of the British Invasion show, aren't you?
I believe I am. Yeah, or we are. That was a very hot day in July, I believe.
Well,
have you guys played that stage?
Not yet. We're going.
Oh yeah, you should be. You should be doing that stage.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Just make sure you got your sunglasses, because the sun is coming down in front of you the whole time.
Right.
So you can't see anything. It's just that blinding. So you got to wear, a ball hat, sunglasses.
Famous Grand Bend sun.
I'm gonna have my welder's shield on.
I would
Here you're wearing like a sergeant's military coat in the heat.
Right.
But it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Let's roll it, Fluffy. Thank you, Fred.
We all have long johns, like onesies on underneath to absorb the sweat as well.
Wow.
Onesies. We don't call them onesies on this show. We call them unitards.
Oh, unitards.
Thank you so
Fred,
much.
thank you so much for being on the show.
And please
stick around for the after party.
Wild after party.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Give it up, folks. Friends, give it up there for Fred.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's just a beautiful ending.
I love the Eddie Van Halen.
And she's buying a stairway to heaven.
All right. Now, lest anybody misunderstand what they saw there, Grand Bend has a bylaw that only allows one person at a time in the mosh pit. So, and if you actually could see Fred's view of the beach, because I've been there and I've seen shows there, there's a million people in chairs all the way down Grand Bend's very large and spacious beach.
Very important clarification.
Yeah, so, but the mosh pit, by bylaw, only allows one person in it.
And that was pre-pandemic.
That was pre-pandemic. What a thrill to have Fred on the show. That was amazing. People were clapping and hooting and hollering. And we have some socials we need to get to, right, Sylvia?
Oh, we could get to some. So yeah, this is completely. Oh, there
We need
are.
you to do something. Get some friends to like us.
We're on
Get
Twitch.
going.
We're on Twitch. We're streaming everywhere. We're streaming.
We're
Twitch,
twitching. I'm twitching right now.
Simulcast.
and we're on Facebook. So if you haven't done so already, and you like the show, please like us on Facebook.
We love the likes.
We like the likes. And this one, we're on Instagram. This is sort of a new.
We're there right now.
Yeah,
We're there right now.
we're on Instagram, and really important is on YouTube. We're really close to 100 subscribers, and if you can push us over the top and get us over the 100 subscribers.
It says 1,000, but we'll be happy with 100 right now.
That's right. Right now we have alphabet soup that describes our YouTube channel. If we get to 100 subscribers, we'll be able to call it the Water Street Blues Band YouTube channel.
Yes.
Well, I can't see Paul anymore.
I mean, look at that.
Ouch.
Thank you.
Ow!
Thank you. Oh my gosh, it's out of control.
You okay?
It's all right. Finish the thing.
He's really good at this.
Okay. Well, we had a fun show tonight. We went a little bit over time, but the Fred stories were just wonderful. What are you doing?
Tangled.
He's shaving. Somebody's shaving.
It's on my chest. Finish the show. Go on.
All right.
Finish the show.
Let's talk about next week's show.
Well, next week, I am so thrilled because we have our first Order of Canada recipient on as a guest, and a very good friend of mine, and a totally revered children's entertainer. He's known internationally, nationally, from coast to coast. Winnipeg's own Fred Penner. So we're really thrilled to have Fred on our show next week. Really looking forward to next week's show. So tune in 9 p.m. on Wednesday, May 19th, when our guest will be Fred Penner. It'll be a very special show. And thanks a lot. We've run up a bit over time, and I think it's time to pack up.
Yes,
It's also Mother's Day in Uralstan, seriously, on May 19th, and we're going to be doing a little segment on that. It's a bit late, but we'll do it.
Well, we're doing a 9 o'clock show, so it'll be just the right time. And it might be a little late there. That's true.
9 to midnight. We'll be on 9 to midnight. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks, Fred.
So much
Time to
for
pack
joining
up.
us. Thank you, Fred.
Okay.
We're the Water Street Blues Band, and this has been Talking About Live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. It's all Fred, all the time. Join us next week when our guest will be a legendary children's entertainer, an amazing musician,
If you're too young,
wonderful storyteller, TV personality, an amazing human being, Fred Penner. Please join us next week at
Kids
9
stay up
p.m.
late. Let the
Let the kids stay up late. They should stay up late.
Yeah, stay on a special occasion.
The children.
If you're too young to know who
Think
Steve
of the
Winwood is,
children.
He'll be there for Fred Penner.
Absolutely. And Fred, Fred is so accessible and so
Hi, Fred.
entertaining and so engaging with children and adult else alike. So there'll be lots and lots of things to love about the show next week. So please join us.